This is the THRUSTMASTER competition evening, where we give one of our members who races on pad the chance to win a THRUSTMASTER T150 and T3PA pedal set, and kindly given to us, and the evening's provided by THRUSTMASTER as well. I'm Phil and I'm commentating, and with me is, as always, is James.
Good evening, everyone. This should be good.
So let's now, tonight's event a little bit different. We have to do it the old-fashioned way.
The director mode glitched in the last two times we've tried it. Just to make a note on that, Phil, when I've gone to monitor, it is director mode, seems default, so I don't know if you're going to see the same thing.
How do you mean? Sorry, James.
So what I've got on my screen, it's pit monitor, but I've got basically what appears to be the director mode dashboard. So maybe that's just the general sort of GUI for monitoring.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can still switch between plays and stuff. So yeah, no, it's all good.
Panic over.
No, you can change the views and stuff like that. It's just monitoring.
No
so yeah, now we've got that out the way. So we've got 10 pad racers that are going to be racing tonight for competition, and we've got 3 races lined up. So the first race is the Porsche GT4, and that's around Silverstone GP. Second race is the Formula C around Brands Hatch, and then third race is the McLaren 720S at Alton Park. So an evening of British tracks to celebrate THRUSTMASTER and their awesome tech, which is available for PC and consoles. So James, I mean, we've got a few names that we do know. I mean, Jack, obviously he's one of our better pad users, so to speak. I mean, he's a name that stands out for me, but we've got the names like of Drew Shan, Tilbs and stuff like that. So I mean, who's going to stand out for you?
Yeah, I think I should say the first name you mentioned there, Jack. He's I remember being in a race with him, and then being informed by yourself that he's actually a pad user, and sort of like me jaw just sort of like hit the floor. I was like, no way. So yeah, he's sort of like my tip as well. But I mean, respect to all these guys, you know, they're in to win this great prize tonight, which will really enhance the sort of immersion experience of playing games like Project Cars. So yeah, just give thanks to THRUSTMASTER myself for providing the prize. I take it, and you know, I've used their products like yourself for a good number of years, but big respect to these guys being able to show the sort of performance and lap times that we've seen through. You know, they're not really handicapped in any way in that respect, so fair play to them. I can't wait for the races tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's, you know, we've picked a good selection of cars, and you know, we've tried to suit those cars to the tracks as well. You know, I'd say sort of we've not made it easy, but we've not made it too difficult. Let's Jack get a bit sideways there in his Porsche. So we're just waiting for times to come in. Obviously still people doing their outlaps and stuff. So how the sessions are going to be set up, so it's 15-minute qualifying and then around 10 laps. I think each race is going to stay at 10 laps of the evening there as well. So good couple of hours of evening, and again brought to you by THRUSTMASTER, and again from myself and everyone at Next Gen, we do want to thank THRUSTMASTER for being able to provide this evening and the prize for tonight's pad users. So
I'm just going to ask there with regards to the prize. It's the T150, and I believe it's the triple pedal set, the T3PA as well.
Yeah, so that's it. So you get comes with T150 and the T3PA box set that comes. So whoever wins it is in for a cracking treat there. T3PA pedals are, you know, pretty, you know, they're actually really good, and I know a lot of people on PC sim racers that quite like them as well. If you can get a conical brake mod, which I believe that they come with as well, you know, you've got a cracking set of pedals there.
Yeah, well, I purchased a set last year, and I'll tell a story that very quickly that we used the conical mod. I think the pedals at Simply Race when we went down there, and I got the set of pedals, didn't install the mod, but felt the brake was just like, well, it's better than the standard pedal set, so I'll just go with this. And then it was after we'd been to Simply Racing, seeing how the Chronicle mod improves your braking, that I installed it, and I was just like, this is a revelation. How the heck did I not install this 2 months ago when I first got it? Well, I felt like an idiot. So, but they are absolutely superb. And the T150, I've owned that as well before upgrading the T300, and it is a fantastic wheel. I mean, you've got 1080 degrees rotation that you can flip on the fly. And the force feedback is really, really good, you know, for the price points as well. So, as you say, whoever wins that is going to, you know, be enjoying it, you know, and the experience big time. It's going to improve it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you are starting into sim racing, the T150 is definitely an amazing entry level wheel. It's at a good price point. And with the T3PAs as well, it's just an awesome wheel just to start with there as well. So just looking at times, so we've got NGR there. I'm not sure because it's cut out his name. Currently running in first place.
That's Geordie boy.
So we're just on board with Jordan there now as well. So NGR Geordie has taken provisional pole just at the moment. But just behind him, RDJ, just over half a second to go, so I'm sure that he'll be able to play catch up. And then we've got Jack, who's just at the moment down in third, just letting the traffic go through.
So we're running in 10th and 11th at the moment, mate. We've got a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you know, if you are just tuning in now, unfortunately we've had to do this the old-fashioned way, the director mode on Project Cars 2. Unfortunately not working quite as it should at the moment. It doesn't give true examples of what's actually happening out on track. We found that it's switching people around, and it's switching drivers around as well. So it's not giving a true representation of what's happening out there. So we do it the old-fashioned way. This does mean we obviously start out on track and then we have to retire to the pits as well, so not ideal, but we'll catch as much of the action for you as we can.
So if you are Envoy Extreme just move up to third with a 217, so that's Cameron Davis. We know that he's been with the group pretty much since day one, I believe.
Yeah,
so good to see him, and hopefully he'll put in a good performance tonight.
Yeah, so obviously Jack, who was, I would say, one of the favourites to win. He's running down in fifth at the moment. He's 4 seconds off the top spot. So yeah, really nice, impressive time there from Cameron. So we're just on board with Cameron at the moment. He's just trying to find the grip through the section. Slightly under the power there, but you've got to be careful. You don't want to power down too quick. Back end will come out in these cars. And we've still got RDJ, I should say, who's shortened the gap a little bit to first, but still over half a second to go. So we've got a couple of comments on YouTube. One saying from Edward Jones, he's going to go for Jack. And then Edward Santa Maria, he's saying it's between Jack and Drew. So he's going to go for Jack as well. So yeah, a couple of people going for Jack. I mean, obviously Jack's involved in a lot of our leagues as well. He takes part in them as well, and he can keep up with the wheel drivers. It's just obviously getting it right on the night, isn't it? Really, James. You can perform really well all the times, but if you unfortunately don't perform well on the night, you can miss out.
It's a different type of pressure. I mean, we see it all the time with penalty shootouts, for example. You can probably, every player will put them away in practice, but on the night when the pressure's on, they go 6 feet over the bar. But yeah, I mean, we're seeing some good sort of tires. I think have we lost someone there, because our DJ's moved up to second, and I don't know if someone actually dropped out there.
Oh, Jack has now just took provisional pole as well.
There we go, 2:14.
So he's just moved Geordie off the top spot there.
Got someone, we have Envoy, sorry, just running wide out of the first corner.
And we're still waiting for Drew to put in a time.
seems that maybe he's on the outlap at this point and just trying to find the racing line maybe. And I mean, we don't know what these guys in terms of the familiarity for every one of them. And the one thing I will say is that, you know, again, bit of praise for Project Cars too. I've seen some videos where it's comparison in terms of using the wheel or using the pad and the analog sticks, and you know, it's a lot more finely tuned and sort of user friendly to be using the pad on Project Cars 2 this time round, when I think maybe last time round it wasn't quite sort of executed very well by SMS. It was really rough for the first few months. I mean, I know they patched it, but it still, you know, I mean, it basically persuaded me to buy a wheel, so that's saying something.
I mean, to be honest, I think Project Cars was the first game of its type to come to a console where it was more sort of sim focused, and I do think maybe they put pad users at the back of the mind, thinking, well, it's, you know, no one's going to want to race a sim with a pad. But unfortunately, the console market, that's getting sideways there again. The console market, you know, even though the sim community's growing a lot, it's still very, well, I use a pad, I'm not going to go out and get a wheel. And I think they've obviously learnt from that. They have improved. There's still complaints coming here and there. I don't think you're ever going to get it perfect where everyone's happy with, you know, that's regards to any game, not just sim racing, but anything in general. But I think what they've done with this is a massive improvement. You can see there Jack getting sideways. He's obviously showing off for the cameras now. That's something you're definitely not going to be able to do in Project Cars 1. You're not going to be able to get these cars and have a little bit of a tail happy ride in them. So yeah,
it would just spin out every time, wouldn't it? So
yeah, you'd either catch it or you wouldn't. No matter what you did, it was one of them. It was just the luck of the draw, to be honest. So Jack just showing off the skills there and how easy it is. I mean, these you'll see tonight.
It's almost a second dead on between Jack and Geordie Boy.
Yeah, so we're just.
Oh, but Geordie Boy has closed it. That's a great sort of lap there. Well, say it is a great lap, but he's just 4 tenths off now, so he'll probably be able to get round. Maybe he'll get another lap in and one more after that when qualifying closes, because I think he just went over the line at the right time as Drew does a 2:14.9, so he is leaving it late to find his pace, but fair play.
You know, sometimes that's what the drivers will do. They'll just walk. They'll just keep going out lap after lap, just taking it easy. And then, you know, towards the end, that's when they'll really push it, when they've got to terms with the car, get the optimum heat in the tyres, and just sort of learn, right, okay, I can definitely push a bit more on that corner, keep a mental note, and then as the time progresses, that's when you'll see them getting faster and faster. I'm just actually trying to find where you are on the board at the moment there, James. I can't actually see you.
I'm not appearing. I am a ghost.
That's fair enough. Hopefully we won't have any issues where people drop out or lobbies disconnect or anything like that. Hopefully it'll be
Jack again getting sideways.
Yeah, he needs to be careful about that. He probably doesn't want to muck around too much with the times that Drew and Geordie have put in.
As I say, they'll both get one more lap each, and Geordie Boy may get another after this one if he's sort of on pace.
Hopefully,
cracking end to qualifying in the first race.
Yeah, definitely. You know, look at the times there. I mean, it goes down. I mean, it's nearly almost 10 seconds for the last one there in 9th place. But once the lights go green and it does start, those times can mean nothing really. Hopefully, it'll all be clean through corner 1. Where we've got Geordie, who's approaching the final corner.
Yeah, so we'll get another lap in after this. Timed it well. And he goes pole. Now, can Drew...
Now, Geordie's actually pitted in there. He thinks he's happy with that. He might not know that Drew, who's is now closest rival... So he doesn't improve on his time there, Drew.
Yeah, but yeah, well done, Geordie. Geordie, but that's a great time there, and perfect timing to put in your fastest lap.
Yeah, certainly. So well done to NGR Geordie there.
That was like Schumacher or Hamilton, just leaving it to the very last second and then just, oh yeah, 3/10, no worries.
So we've still got RD. Someone else has just moved up to third there as well. I can't see, unfortunately, who that is. I haven't got the name on the screen. Very good. Can I just ask where you're seeing their names from?
Right, so at the bottom, I'm just bringing the timings up.
Ah, right, brilliant. Okay, fantastic. So Tilbs, very good. So kept his name out of the qualifying there. Kept quiet until, like you say, right at the end. And this what they've done with Project Cars 2 was much needed. So they've allowed people to sort of. Obviously, there is a timer, so your time can run out if you're on your final lap once you cross the line. But much improved. So RDJ is just coming up now. Is he going to be able to improve? He does improve, but unfortunately, it's not enough to move him up into the top 4. So he'll stay in 5th. And we've got 6th place is still out, so he's going to have enough time to finish. Oh no, he's going into the pits. That must have been his out lap. So it
was interesting to see, if you actually look at the timings, Drew's last lap, which I think was discredited, was a 2:13.2, which would have put him on pole by just under half a second.
Oh, you've got to be kicking yourself there, haven't you?
Just a bit. Just a bit.
So penalties in the game, some people love them, some people hate them. It does cause a few. Yeah, it does cause a few little conversations. I think sometimes they work really well, sometimes they don't work so well. So just the final 10 seconds of qualifying. So we'll just let that timer count down. But yeah, sometimes the penalties work really well. Sometimes, unfortunately, they don't work as well as what I think they should.
Yeah, but they are better.
Yeah, definitely. At times.
Nothing's perfect. I mean, it's because there's so many sort of different types of cars, disciplines. I suppose that they had to sort of do a one size fits all for the for the penalties. So didn't sort.
So just
here we go.
The ready up screen. Now I do like that at this part here where you've got your pit strategy, so it does give people sort of time to do that, because if you're qualifying in the rain and you know it's going to be dry in the next race, I think you do actually have to change your tyres. So you could go into your tuning setup and change your tyres back to dry, because unfortunately if you do finish your qualifying in the rain, even if you've got automatic by weather, it will still actually it will keep rain tyres on your car. So it's something, again, it's just different from the first game, so it's something that you have to try.
Well, it just eradicates the need for the warm-up session, because that was the way we used to do it, wasn't it, to allow drivers to make any last-minute changes if necessary, or if the weather was random.
Let's see if we can.
So here we go. Anyway, we wish everyone good luck. Lights go green and it's go, go, go. Back to the pits and let's get monitoring. Here we go.
So with Geordie here at the moment. So in first, Jack fighting with RDJ there. It'll take a while to get used to his name, but Geordie with an excellent run out in here at the moment. And we've got a good battle going on here for fourth. Drew holding on to that place just at the moment. Oh no, Drew's in fifth, sorry. So NGR there moved up into fourth.
Jack really on the tail now of Geordie boy. Trying to keep out, make sure he doesn't get into his slip. Got the inside line run. It's
Geordie much faster line into that track. Oh, Jack has lost it. Unfortunately, we've seen him getting a little bit tail happy in qualifying there. He'll be kicking himself, so he's got quite a mission on his hands now. So Geordie will be pretty happy with that. RDJ's moved up second, and we've got Drew is still in fourth at the moment there. I'm not sure who's that in third is.
Have a look for you. That is Tilbs.
So Tilbs is battling with RDJ at the moment. He's moved into second now.
battle, this.
So on board with RDJ now as he tries to find his way past Tilbs.
Just allowing Geordie Boy though to extend a bit of a lead. He was under pressure from Jack, but that mistake has given him a bit of breathing space.
So Jack got a lot of traffic in front of him there at the moment as well. RDJ trying to find his way around the outside of Tilbs at the moment. Tilbs saying you're going to have to try better than that.
There's a three-way battle for second.
But we can see Drew moving right up on this as well. This is now
definitely having a look.
Very, very close. I think he's backed off a little there. Doesn't want to get into too much trouble into the corners. Wants to apply enough pressure, but not too much. Oh, side by side there as well.
Thankfully, they didn't sort of carry the fight on. It was they sort of separated, and again, that's good to see that the magnetism sort of glitch from the original is gone.
Yeah, so RDJ, he'll be wanting to fight back now. Although it does look like Drew and Tilbs slightly pulling away at the moment. Jack has made good headway after that incident, so he's up to 5th there. He's still got quite a bit of a challenge up in front of him at the moment. And can see the lead there that Jordan has managed to pull away from the others while they've all been battling.
Oh, we have an off at the back. I don't know who's run right there.
Oh, that's Tilbs going into the dirt, and that's straight into the tyres. He's going to lose a lot of places there. He'll be kicking himself, just locked up and went off. So that's put Drew now into 2nd place and RDJ in 3rd. Don't forget these races, all the points are banked up.
I think, don't know what's happened there with Tilbs, but anyway, as you say,
it may have been a disconnection.
Yeah,
that might have been what happened. Disconnection, fortunately. He was running well there as well.
The thing that we say with disconnections is in the normal seasons, the group treat it as sort of, say, engine failure or electrical fault that means that you have to retire the car from the race. So it is a major kick in the groin area, but it is the rule that we sort of abide by. But we'll get it back in for the next session.
Yeah, the evening's not over. What I was saying there just before it did happen. So the points are banked up on each race there. So even if you do have a bad first race, you can still make it up in the next 2 races as well. But it does make your job harder. You are going to have, you're going to have a cracking next 2 races. Oh, RDJ there looking up slightly. Not getting the nicest entry through the chicane.
So we've got Green and Army in 4th again. Another sort of prolific driver in the sense he does a lot of racing in all the different sort of leagues that we run in different classes. So good to see him taking part tonight.
And now we see Jack, who's going to try and get past. He's going to have the inside line for the corner. Has to go slightly easy though because he's got the tighter line through it. Moves into 4th though.
That was a nice move. Little dab on the brake from Green and Army because he just knew that Jack would have had to have sort of nipped in front of him, and he did well there just to make sure that there wasn't any contact, which would have really been disastrous for both their races.
Yeah, and the battle for the top 3, not a million miles between each of these guys, so the littlest mistake will cost them dearly. They just need to keep the head down now and push hard. RDJ with a nice line here. He'll be trying to get as close as he can to do just to apply that pressure. And I would say the gap to Geordie in 1st place has dropped a little bit. Oh, Geordie getting very wide on the corner there. He's obviously pushing very hard. He can see them in his mirror. Sometimes the pressure can just build up a little bit too much. Slight little look in your mirror too long, and you've missed your reference point for the corner.
You think you've got just under 3-second lead, and that must be comfortable, but that feels like 3/100ths of a second lead or thousandths. But he is extending it. Just gone over 3 seconds, so after that little mistake and little error, he's focused and got back at the pace.
sometimes you need that little mistake just to shake you up. We were saying in one of our races the other night, you can get in the zone that much, you can actually just drift into it, and then suddenly you snap out of it all of a sudden. So you sometimes need that little mistake. Just
we referred to,
yeah, yeah, it just takes that little mistake just to ground you again, and then get your head back into it. But yeah, top three sort of separated at the moment. Just trying to find. Jack has actually dropped down to 7th now. So again, he's not really feeling this Porsche GT4. It's not been his best show at the moment.
No, he must have made a mistake, because he was sort of climbing through the field and he got up to 4th. And that, I suppose, wouldn't have been too bad considering what had happened earlier, to sort of get in the top 4. It earns him points that he can sort of carry forward, as you're saying, keeps him in the shout.
And we're just on board with Envoy Extreme now, as he's got Jack just in front of him.
Nice move there, pass. Is that Tilbs? Or we lost Tilbs, did we say?
Yeah, Tilbs,
no, that was
unfortunately.
Marshall, sorry.
So Tilbs, unfortunately, we did. Yeah, it looks like we lost him. I think it might have been a pad failure. Problem with the dual shock, you do need to charge those pads up, and that is the best thing about having a wheel. No worry about charging those up. Oh, and that's Jack losing it again. And I think Envoy Extreme is going to make his way past him here. I think Jack has managed to just get back. Yeah, he has managed to get back in front and keep him from passing.
Now the lead at the front is down to 1.7. Drew is really chewing into that lead now. It's took it down by, what, nearly a second and a half?
Now, is that possibly due to maybe Geordie making an error, or Drew just pushing very hard there as well? I mean, RDJ is not a million miles between them, but, you know, no. Drew is definitely... He wants these points, you know. There is a wheel at stake here. T150, T3PA pedals. Yeah, he's looking a lot more concentrated on the track. He seems line seems a little bit better, less panicky than what Geordie in front of him is at the moment. You know, Geordie.
I'm just going to have a look at the cockpit view and just see how the gap is closing in sort of relative terms from Drew's viewpoint.
So you can hear Drew there on the high revs, sort of knocking it down a gear, downshifting to get the speed through the corner. He is closing this gap. He is eating it like it's a McDonald's hamburger at the moment. It's just disappearing right in front of him. He can now taste this victory, and he is pushing hard for it. This is going to be really applying the pressure to NGR Geordie. Can he hold on until the end? Stick with us to find out. On board with Geordie at the moment there. Oh, he goes wrong there. I think Drew is going to say thank you very much, and he is going to take it. Side by side through the complex at the moment. Geordie has to give that place though. There's nothing he can do. He'll be kicking himself now. But the race isn't over. RDJ still running well in third.
From Jordan, but he's this is where I think sort of that, you know, maybe sort of got chewed up by the curbs. The Drew now leading that pace that he had to close the gap. You're going to see it switch. It's going to be Jordan who's going to seem the quicker of the two drivers, because it's just a different mentality when you're in front.
Yeah, and you've also got now Drew is going to be providing a tow for Geordie here as well on this long straight at Silverstone.
You have a look on the inside.
And he gets back into first place there as well. Drew not just behind him here as well. The battle isn't over. So the halfway through.
Taste it like, you know, it's a McDonald's hamburger. I would say the McDonald's hamburger is the least flavoursome burger that you can get from McDonald's. I mean, there's no cheese.
I meant it's just the size of it, really. They're not massive burgers, really, are they? So they're gone in a heartbeat, to be fair.
I don't think I've ever had one, and if I did, I don't remember it. Do you even get a pickle?
They are pickles on them.
Oh, I
So
suppose that's okay then. Anyway.
Drew now back in second.
Yeah, we
So
saw that.
board.
I mean, as I say, I don't know. I think we'll see it now. The last few laps, these two may alternate places back and forth until, you know, they to sort of execute a plan on the last lap to.
Oh,
like
Drew catching it there, almost lost it, but caught it early enough to prevent anything from happening. We've seen
well.
Jack lose it there in a couple of laps ago. But yeah, like you say, you know, it's lap 6 of 10, so there's still plenty of time. Oh, Jordan getting a little bit wobbly there just in front, so we'll stay on board with Drew at the moment. Oh, gets a little few wheels on the left on the grass there, and Geordie, that's not his favourite corner. It happened to him before, but Drew now close enough to take advantage of it and gain a little bit of time on him.
I think also further down, Jack is close to getting back into 4th place. So again, he's working his way back through again. I don't know, have we lost another driver?
I'm not too sure. I think we have lost. There might have been a couple of disconnections in the race. They might have retired. But Greener Army running well in 4th at the moment, so he'll be very pleased with that. But we're back on with Drew, who's chasing down 1st place, so NGR Geordie in 1st. But you know, this is just race 1 of 3 on this THRUSTMASTER event evening. If you are just joining us, we've got the GT4s at Silverstone, followed by Formula C at Brands Hatch, and then the McLaren 720S at Alton Park. So race car, open wheel and road car, and Geordie getting very wide on the exit of corner 1. Closes in and stops Drew getting past, takes a defensive line there through the corner. Drew's thinking about attacking here, but he's not. He's holding back. I think he's going to try and force Geordie to make an error. You can see that he's getting desperate now. He's just holding off. He's playing the waiting game.
Well, strategy-wise, I think it would be more prudent for Drew to just sit behind Jordan for the last sort of the next 2 laps and a half, and then keep this sort of distance between them, and then execute it on the final lap. Because if he gets ahead now, it will only mean that Jordan will sort of like maybe fight back and get ahead again. So I think what these two guys have got to think is it better to lead? Was it better to let the other driver lead going into the final lap and just sort of execute a plan that way, rather than doing this sort of trading places every lap and a half?
Yeah, I mean, it can work both ways, can't it? You could sort of get side by side here. Oh, Geordie gets in front slightly. Drew pushing hard, but yeah, it could work both ways. You don't want to sort of get into the rhythm of just following them, because if you get out of that mentality of maybe if you can see an opportunity, is it worth taking it? That is the decisions these guys have got to take. I mean, RDJ, you can see him there, not too far off in the distance, so you don't want to back off too much. You know, I'd say if you can see an opportunity, it might be worth taking it. But then, like you say, Geordie is definitely the type of racer that when he's behind, he does seem to do well to be able to catch up and get back in front. But Drew is definitely tracing his line here.
You sort of like, I've always found that chasing someone down is you seem to sort of like do everything right, but when you're ahead of them and they're chasing you down, you make more errors. You're a little bit more cautious. It may only be 2-3% whatever, but in your head and the effect it does on your lap time has big consequences. So it's really interesting to see that sort of like the mentality that maybe you see in real world racing translates into sort of sim racing and even with pad users as well. And it's great to see the sort of battles and the way that they pan out each time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, oh, here we see Geordie making a little bit of an error there, but he managed to not lose too much out of it. Drew can sense an opportunity here. I think he is going to take it.
He did. He hooked that corner lovely out the apex onto the power, and with Jordan running wide. So again, what have we got? 2.5 laps, 2 3/4 laps, if that, and they swap places again. Yeah, oh, that's a big wide.
Yeah, that is not a good corner for Geordie, really. He's gone wide on there quite a few times. And now we'll see him apply the pressure. So RDJ, there he is in the background. I think he might be settling for third.
Jack has suffered another off as he's gone back behind Green and Army, but he's I think he takes the position back, so must have just been a temporary bit. But he's had a mistake-ridden race, and I think that maybe that it's either just
Geordie's done an excellent move there, going on to the chicane.
Yeah,
but it goes out wide. Oh, side by side there as well.
Whoa.
You know, these guys that, you know, there's a T150 up for grabs with T3PA pedals. That, you know, these guys aren't going to give it up without a fight tonight. You know, Rubbin is racing, and oh, there's Juddy going for an inside move here again. And Drew managed to keep it first.
A little nibble there at the tail.
Defends there as well. He's not going to make it easy. It's 2 laps to go now.
Oh, backhand wobble there from Drew.
Doing every can to stop Geordie getting in front.
This is great to watch with a pack of cheese and onion crisps. I must say, it really enhances the flavour. And again.
Oh, I thought Geordie was
really. I think he may have had to slam on there to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, that gap he was going for, pretty much a non-existent gap.
Well, if it was there, it closed up really quickly.
Oh, gets on the dirt there. Unfortunately, he manages to avoid anything, but that's not to, you know, put up.
Well, thankfully, these cars are quite forgiving over the curbs, so it wasn't too disastrous.
Yeah, nice GT4 car this, and again, Geordie really not liking that corner. RDJ.
Lap and a quarter to go. Use your money on.
I couldn't call it at the moment.
Make a call.
I'm gonna say Geordie. You know, he's pushing hard, but you know, you're definitely not cancelling Drew out. But Geordie looks like he's got a fight.
Because I think Jordan may push a bit too hard, and if he goes, you know, off one of those curbs again, you know, it could even allow RDJ up to take second, perhaps. So he's got to be aggressive, but it's got to be in controlled aggression. As he comes into that corner hot, and it's got his back end out.
That was a hold your breath and hope for the best moment then for Geordie. I think he, you know, going in a bit too hard. I mean, what Geordie's now got to think about is, right, do I concede this and take second, or do I really push and then, you know, could force a mistake, and then, you know, you could lose a couple of places by doing that, depending on what incident. Oh, and he's
wide again.
Off of the grass, managed to keep it going.
That would have been disastrous. Well, he's like a bat out of hell. He's gone hell for leather. I think he just said, sod it, I'm gonna go for this. It's all or nothing. Let's just hope it doesn't turn into nothing.
If anyone wants to know what a Porsche Cayman GT4 looks like doing rallycross, you've just witnessed it there from NGR Geordie. But yeah, I think it's now time to calm down, concede, take the points for second place, and, you know, bring the fight in the last 2 races. Goes out wide there. I mean, RDJ, if Geordie does make a mistake, it is pretty close enough to, you know, to get something out of that. You see the corner that Geordie doesn't like. Yeah, he just can't get his line right going into that corner.
I think maybe he's realised that it's going to take something special or a major incident for Drew to allow Geordie back into the lead. But it's been a great battle to watch, and if this is just a taster for what's to come in the next 2 races, certainly whetting the appetite well.
So here we come.
We'd say, here we go to the end of first race with one of these guys is going to be a lucky winner of the THRUSTMASTer T150 and the T3PA peddals. I suppose that they must be. I mean, I know sometimes we say that we're sweating buckets when we've been in a really close race using the wheel, but I bet you those pads are a little bit drenched at the moment as he crosses the line through. Lovely race, guys. Well done.
So awesome battle there to take the top spot, Drew. Well done. And well played to Geordie as well. Unfortunately, you know, he's lost out on that top spot, but had an awesome qualifying, an awesome first race as well. So timer comes down. Jack finished his 4th by the looks of it. Yeah, it will be 4th for Jack. I think he'll be thinking what could have been. Definitely not his finest hour from Jack there.
No, I mean, maybe they say that the qualifying time in terms of the that was good, but in terms of the race, it's the consistency over them 10 laps. He just couldn't sort of get into the zone, which was a shame, but well done for sort of fighting back, and 4th place is nothing to be sniffed at, especially with 2 more races to come, plenty of time and a chance to find his form and get into the sort of the equation for winning that wheel.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll go back to the lobby. The host this evening, Mark, will set up the new race. So it's the Formula C around Brands Hatch. So definitely a different kettle of fish for race 2 now. Apparently, for the Formula C, slightly more twitchy than in Project Cars 1. In Project Cars 1, it was kind of a fan favourite in next gen. It's pretty planted, but yeah, apparently a little bit of a twitchy car. So, you know, different kettle of fish. You're gonna have to be careful with your side-by-side racing in the Formula C now. So it's, you know, we'll have to see how everyone adjusts to the racing.
Yeah, not something I can really comment on. I haven't given the Formula C a sort of run out on Project Cars 2, but certainly I think the Formula C, B&A, and even the Rookie, they were all great fun to drive. Just a shame, I think, that the Formula A really did put a lot of people off. There wasn't much sort of enthusiasm for that. I know we did try and get some sort of leagues underway, but the sort of progressive thing that the guys did, where he did the season in Formula B, then up to the Formula C, and then the next season was the Formula B. And I just remember the battle between Danny Howard and Luke Reed, and some of the commentary that we used to do on those nights. We were just sort of like screaming down the mic with excitement because we were watching like just some superb action. So I think we're going to get the same in this race tonight, man.
Yeah, definitely. And just looking through some of the YouTube comments there, there's quite a few, but one that's just popped up from Lee Southall, obviously a Next Gen member there as well. Thanks for tuning in, Lee. He's just pretty much mirrored what we've said about Geordie there as well. You know, he's showing good pace, but just needs to calm down a little bit. He's just losing a bit too much time by pushing hard, which, you know, we did say, but it's one of them. You know, you've got a decent wheel up for grabs. THRUSTMASTer T150 and T3PA pedals. It's one of them. I think if you can maybe taste it, you can maybe going to push that little bit hard. But yeah, I would say if he'd have calmed down a little bit, might have seen a slightly different. I think Drew played the game that we advised, you know, when we were talking about, just play it calm. If you can obviously see an opportunity to take it, but don't really push too much for it. That way you'll normally find the guy in front will feel the pressure a little bit more as well. So yeah, unfortunate for Geordie. So second race of the evening, so race 2 of 3.
Definitely take that though, and but I think this sort of like, even from that first race, we can't. I find it hard to call who's going to win this one.
Yeah, it's this is why, you know, when we approached THRUSTMASTER and said, look, we'd love to do an evening for you, and they were like, yeah, okay, we're up for that. We're like, oh, do we have one long race? Do we split up? And we basically said, all right, well, let's just gonna go to the monitor screen there as well. We basically thought, right, well, let's split it up and we'll have 3 completely different cars, just to completely, you know, test everyone. And so just finding someone out on track. So Envoy Extreme out on track there as well. Oh, cold tyres, cold brakes. Need to take it a little bit easy on your outlap. As you hear the roar from these Formula C engines.
It's a very nice roar, almost like a really angry bear.
So just answering some questions there. So no, there was no contact that unfortunately made Jack spin. He just overcooked it, and the back end went out on that Porsche GT4. So Jack is just leaving the pits at the moment. So the car models on these Formula C looking a lot better than in Project Cars 1, I do have to say.
Yeah, I think they've also got the sort of body shape and the way that the design is sort of different. It has a sort of vintage look, maybe sort of late 70s, early 80s sort of old Formula 1.
I would say the model. I would say they're modelled on the like the F4 cars, to be honest.
Oh yeah, in the modern day, yeah. But I just think sort of the curves, yeah, they're very curvy, very pretty. Look good
You do
from
like
all angles. But
your curvy bodies.
I do, I must say. But yeah, definitely around Brands Hatch, where we know that used to be hosting the Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix for the period, and Paul Silverstone sort of dominated. Yeah, I think this is just perfect car and track combo.
Yeah, I love this track. It is one of my firm favourites that I'll normally go to straight away when a new racing game comes out. So yeah, I do love it. It's got a little bit of everything. And so mentioned there about obviously in real world the Grand Prix. Obviously, you know, it's leaving Silverstone. Any tracks that I mean, obviously, there's...
Well, right, one or two things are going to happen, mate. Because they have this debate and sort of like throw the dummy out the pram every few years because it's too expensive to run, and I was like, well, sort your bloody revenues out like with other like track activities. Look what how Autumn Park or Brands Hatch generate income when they're not hosting races is by doing the track days and the race experiences and things like that. I think Silverstone is just like testing, and not every team is going to have the money to test, and they're not going to be there. You know, they're not going to be full every day of the month or all year round. So when it comes to the Grand Prix, when it is like a bit financial whack, I know it's increased in price, but you know, come on, you're an international famous circuit. I'm sure you can sort of get yourselves like more money coming in. But anyway, they'll either agree a new contract, and it will stay there, or one thing I'd like to see is a street circuit for the British Grand Prix. You know, London, Midlands, Manchester, you know, or maybe take it from city to city as long as it's planned and that in advance. It's an opportunity really to get Formula One to the masses. You know, I think that would be one cracking way to do it if we did.
Some street circuits in the UK would be nice. Just going on to the timings there, so RDJ, first one to put a time down, so just under 2 seconds behind him is Greener Army. And then we've got Envoy Extreme fourth. So I mean, RDJ, he did well in qualifying in the last race as well, leading for a bit. Yeah. And then Drew has just gone into second there as well, as he almost gets sideways going through corner one in this little Formula C car. So he's pushing, he wants that provisional pole.
I will have a little vote. Anyone who's watching the stream, so we want to know what your thoughts are. Do you want to see it stay at Silverstone, move to one of the other tracks if they could be updated and modified to accommodate a Formula 1 Grand Prix, or would you like to see a street circuit, and if so, where?
Yeah, definitely get involved in the chat as well. Let us know what you think of it. I mean, the question that I was sort of leading into as well is, before you went on a massive rant, is if it leaves Silverstone, but well, I mean, there's that racetrack, I think it's Cardiff, that's meant to be getting built, but in the meantime, where, I mean, people have said the I don't know whether it was fake or not, but apparently another GP circuit, so in addition to this, is getting built onto this. But this track, in my opinion, is just not a Formula 1 track.
No, there's you know, it's just with the power of them, there's just not enough sort of like straightaways before you're sort of getting into the corner for them to get any sort of speed, and that means it can't get into the optimum tyre temp range, brake temp range. It doesn't work. You know, tracks are set up in a certain way. That's why I think is it Kazakhstan, the street circuit, or which one is it?
Is it Baku?
Baku or something. Baku, that's it.
So Drew's gone into the pits there.
Drivers complain about it. They just can't get any sort of temperature because they're not getting up to speed enough to sort of get heat in the tyres, and the braking is basically it's not sort of harsh enough that they can't get the brakes up to temp as well. So so that's one of the sort of pitfalls. But the one in Cardiff could, you know, if a decision was made, that can certainly be sort of constructed to be in the regulations for a Grand Prix event.
I mean, it's not a million miles away from where Silverstone is anyways. It's still sort of close to down south Cardiff, so for those fans that travelled all the time to Silverstone from down south, wouldn't have too far field to go. Still quite a while away for us. RDJ is still leading the way at the moment. Envoy Extreme showing he's doing well in qualifying as well. Unfortunately, his race craft didn't bring the best out of him in that race. So I'm just reading through the YouTube comments as well. Yeah, so Lee Southall, so Brand's not fast enough for F1, would need new model of tyres just for this track. Yeah, it's true.
There you go.
You know, as soon as they announced that they were leaving, someone said, Brands Hatch is probably the place that'll take it over. I think even Donington was mentioned. I mean, Donington is in my opinion worse than this. I mean, can you imagine Formula 1 cars battling? Oh,
that's a big off.
That's Envoy having a massive... Oh, Jack has taken provisional pole at the moment.
Yeah, and that's a massive time. I mean, 4 seconds or 3.5. Nice.
So, I mean, these cars should be more planted to the ground as well. Me saying that, there's Jack getting the back end out as well. The commentator curse happening again. I think sometimes we need to just zip and keep quiet. But again, if you are just joining into the stream, this is our THRUSTMASTER event evening, brought to you, hosted by Next Gen in association with THRUSTMASTER. All these guys running on pad, no wheels in the lobby tonight. And the winner after the 3 races with the most points will win. Will bag a T150 and a T3 PA pedal set. So definitely a really good prize, and we thank THRUSTMASTER for being able to give us that to help us with this evening. So we'll stay with Jack. In fact, we'll go on board with Jack.
Other THRUSTMASTER product that I do find really, really useful, and again, all part of the immersion, is the shifter. And I don't use the H pattern, purely sequential. But with the T150 being part of the ecosystem, you can actually get the shifter, and it will work with the C150. So, you know, what you're getting is a 1080 degree wheel, brilliant force feedback, compatibility, I say, with the 3 pedal set, and also the shifter as well. So I think as a package, it's top draw. And as you say, we thank THRUSTMASTER for it. And I think it just I saw the comment where they just said shows how far next gen as a group and that has come. And I think it's like really down to you guys, the admin, and yourself, Phil. You know, you started this, but the guys like Mark and Armin and you know, I apologise if I miss you out. They do a great job behind the scenes, but also what makes this group so great is the members. You know, like from day one, there's just been a camaraderie, a sort of like determination, focus to race clean, but race fair and hard. So, and that's just led the way and meant that the group's sort of grown and grown.
Yeah, certainly.
So nice, you know, guys.
Our name is Next Gen League Racing, and you know, we're a very community-based group. So it's not where you join and we're like, right, well, this time we're racing GT3s, and that's it. You come in, you either join our race or not. You could come in and go. I mean, I've had numerous. I mean, our project cars. We're into season 10 now on project cars. So that starts soon. I've had people going, look, I'd love to do an endurance race. We can obviously give advice saying, look, with our members, we know what works and what doesn't. So, yeah, Jack not having the best lap there. I was on him just before. I'm just on board with our DJ. But, yeah, people come in, you know, and they'll discuss with admin saying, look, I want to do this. We've run other games as well. So, Assetto Corsa, GT Sport coming out as well. So, you know, it's not so much we go, right. Yeah, we're not so much right. This is what's running, and this is that you either join it or you don't. You know, people come in, and our rules have been our rules have adapted and grown over the seasons from people going, well, actually, have you maybe tried this? And we'll go, all right, we'll give it a try. I mean, if someone come in and said, I think you should have to drive in just second gear for the whole race, then that's not gonna, you know, that's not gonna happen, sort of thing. But what we do at Next Gen is we don't really just suit to one type of player, so we won't go, right, well, we only want pro drivers, so everyone has to run no assist and locked view. We'll go, well, actually, we've got sort of our skill ranges range from like beginner all the way up to pro. So certain lobbies will have like certain rules. We'll go, right, well, if you want to race in this lobby, it's pro settings. If you want to race in this, it's sort of like all assists allowed, sort of thing. So our DJ there going out wide as well on that corner. You know, it's the fastest. One of the fastest
big
corners
things
on track.
with that, and I'll just sort of like bring it to a close in terms of the praises. Other leagues that I've joined and sort of gone into, pretty much you've got to have some sort of like license, or you've got to prove your ability to race before you can even get anywhere near the competition and actually get on track in one of the sort of leagues or championships. And I think that's really sort of an inclusive way of looking at it, and sort of inward way of looking at it, whereas Next Gen, as you say, anyone can come along and get involved in a big way straight away, and there's no sort of like sort of set rules or guidelines. You know, we as you say, you've got some rules, not unreasonable. It's just about respecting the other members of the community, both in the group and on the track. And above all that, it's all about having fun, and I think that's why it's so popular, and everyone who's part of it really enjoys being part of it.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, that's what we want to do. Jack getting his back end out again. Oh, is he?
He has, but you know, he's 3 seconds ahead nearly in terms of his pace. So, and does that mean, does he really have to push so hard? Maybe he can go in the race and just be a little bit more controlled, and he'd still come out on top.
Yeah, comments on YouTube there. Jack is really smashing this one. He certainly is. Where's NGR Geordie? Is that NGR Geordie in third? Again, I can't. Let's just check the timing screen. So yeah, NGR Geordie board in third. That's your times at the moment, and there's the gaps. So I mean, RDJ has managed to close the gap slightly. It was 4 seconds in front, Jack, but still over 3 seconds. In fact, I think Jack is extending, because I think he got down to 2 seconds, RDJ. So yeah, that's a really good time. I mean, that is the end of qualifying now, to be honest. Just over 40 seconds left to go.
Yeah, and most of the drivers are back in the pits.
Oh, RDJ going off into the dirt there. So yeah, I mean 25 seconds left. I don't think anyone's unfortunately going to... Oh, we've got ROP. Who is that? Ropsky. He hasn't actually put in a lap yet. He just has now. Where's he moved up to? So he's down, moved up to 8th. Oh no, so he's into the into the final time. Well, he's not going to be able to improve his lap time now.
Right.
But we have got Jack still out. Is he going to be able to increase that lead a bit? I think what Jack needs to do in this next race is just get his head down, get through corner 1 and corner 2
alive,
and alive, and then just basically, you know, do what Jack does best and just concentrate. To be fair, he had an unlucky race 1. So
well, I raced at Croft last night in the league, touring car league, and let's just say, across the 3 races, I didn't get out of corner 1 alive.
Yeah, that's
Chaos.
And these cars, you need to be careful about getting side by side.
Yeah, a little bit more. Obviously, I think we saw some really close battles in the GT4s, but the contact when it happened didn't really upset the cars too much, and they were able to carry on. But these cars are different kettle of fish, and that contact is going to send them spinning off probably.
So just under 20 seconds left to go.
20 seconds to go. You got 20 seconds to go. So who's your money on? Put it on the spot.
Oh, I'm gonna say let's go for Jack. With times like that in qualifying, I'm gonna go for Jack. I don't like being put on the spot, but yeah, all right, we'll go for Jack.
Right. So we await everyone just to get themselves into the mindset. Race 2 about to begin when everyone's ready. Gladiators, ready!
It's a blast from the
no,
past.
I need the toilet. Give me 5 minutes. It may be a big one.
That was classic though, wasn't it?
And
Like, when he used to do sort of like cutaways.
Keep your eye on the light.
Wolf!
Easy with the right foot. Let's nail this.
Oh, I'm scared. Right, good luck everyone if you're watching this back. Right, let's get back to the pits and get monitoring.
So RDJ has managed to creep in front, and Jack been pushed down to 3rd place there.
Not a good start at all.
But RDJ getting a little bit of the gravel under his tyres there.
Very, very multicoloured liveries at the front. Kind of looks like a rainbow or a box of Skittles, and it's go wide anyway.
Jack just biding his time. Trying to find his way through. Oh, he's playing a game here. Goes left, goes right. Oh, goes right, goes left.
It's a hokey cokey.
But you definitely don't want to put your left leg in.
Unless you're braking.
Oh, Jack losing it there. Oh,
he's still there. Well, we've got. Have a look. I believe it's Geordie Boy. He's had a great start to the race, and he's putting RDJ under all sorts of pressure now.
And there's Jack. Oh, Jack turning this into rallycross now. Geordie Boy really making it difficult for Jack to find a way past. I think Jack is going to go through the inside here. Geordie closes him off. Jack goes around the outside now as they approach the home straight, starting lap 2, 3 wide.
2 wide. Going into paddock.
Oh, take a deep breath. And we go again. Jack fits in.
like a glove, and now he's got
And Jack's going to have the inside line. Jordy's going to follow him here as well. RDJ. Oh no, what's Jack doing?
I think he just...
locked up there as well.
Definitely.
RDJ will be thanking his lucky stars from that. Could have been a lot worse for him.
Thankfully, all three cars were able to continue pretty much. Oh,
sign goes into the air, and there's chaos at the back there as well.
You would be furious if you paid for advertising on that sign.
And Drew, unfortunately, had a brilliant race one at the moment. He's in 6th place. 5th place now. Green Army goes off onto the grass. And Jack is still in 2nd place as he chases down RDJ. Goes onto the grass. Needs to be careful. These tyres do not like having dirt on them. That's RDJ going a little bit wide there as well. Managed to get back on track to prevent... Oh, no, he doesn't. Jack is through. On board with RDJ now. Unfortunately makes a little bit of an error there as well, but Jack doesn't get the cleans of exits out the corner. And we've got Geordie who's in 3rd, trying to chase down these two now. Onto the home straight as RDJ chases down Jack. Jack will definitely want this win after his first race. RDJ not getting the best entry in, locked up a little bit. Take a deep breath. This race is far from over.
Mad first few laps, that was.
And we've got Drew's now in 5th. Not a lot separating all of these guys at the moment though, so everyone does need to be on top of their game. So Jack pulling away slightly from RDJ now as well. RDJ just in front of Geordie. And we've got Envoy Scream, who's running well in 4th. So having a much better race. Yeah, definitely having a much better race than 1st at the moment. But Drew, he'll be kicking himself, but still a long time to go. 7 laps left.
I wonder if psychologically Jack was just sending a message by selecting the slightly blue looking, which is kind of the same colour as the T150 wheel, sort of rubber grips colour on his livery. Do you think that maybe it's a deliberate sign to the other drivers to say, hey, I'm going to make that wheel mine?
No, I think it was just a lucky pick.
Okay.
We're on board now with NGR Geordie as he chases down RDJ. That gap is definitely closing. RDJ didn't get the best entry into corner 1 on the last lap.
Yeah, and we just see Envoy as well. Now, Envoy did actually run in the Formula Class Leagues back on the original Project cars, so he was a regular.
Oh, what's happened here? Jack has dropped down to 3rd place. That's allowed RDJ and Geordie to take 1st and 2nd. And NGR Geordie is pushing here.
This is what we said about Jack. I mean, he was so much faster in qualifying, but maybe again, is it just a little bit of youthful exuberance? I don't know how old he is, or just the fact that he's a little bit. He's a race driver at heart. He just goes for it no matter what the situation, and sometimes that can lead to mistakes like that, going wide and almost losing it, going into the wall there, but he managed to get...
Oh, Geordie getting a little bit out of sorts there as well. You see just RDJ in front of him kicking up some dust as well. Oh, and that's Geordie. Oh, managed to get back on the track. Well, that's allowed Jack to close right up on him here as well.
Every driver really finding it difficult to keep these cars on the tarmac.
Yeah,
no surprise though, they are little beasts in a box.
But there's nothing really separating these top 3 at the moment. And we've seen them all,
Are they on default setups? Stock setups?
Yeah, it is default setup.
Yeah, well, you did say that.
Oh, there's Jack getting a little bit messy out of corner 1 there.
I don't think it's any surprise to see these guys struggling with these cars, as you say, as you said at the start to me. We were talking about it, and
Oh, there's
These are the
Geordie going
little
off. I think Jack might be able to get past him here.
Oh,
Oh, no,
it's a bit
that is a
Geordie's
massive crash.
upside down.
Geordie must have felt like he was in the middle of a hurricane. He spun and spun. He must have been in the air for about, what seemed for him, probably about 10 minutes. He's definitely going to have a headache after that one. Oh, that is just played right into RDJ's hands.
Jack he's got out of that okay.
Yeah, luckily damages switched off, but that was a huge impact there for NGR Geordie, and that's allowed Envoy Extreme to catch up to them as well. So,
He's having a great race,
a little
Envoy.
bit of a corner cut there, goes a bit too much curb, unsettles the car, and he goes off into the dirt. And Drew is now not a million miles away
Solly
from
Cameron.
this.
The gap now between RGJ and Jack just under 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Halfway
still
through
not
now,
over
going into
for
the
Jack.
sixth lap.
He could still pull something out of
Oh,
this.
definitely not with his qualifying pace. But again, even if he just took it a little bit more conservatively, he'd still be quick enough to close the gap. And RDJ almost losing the back end going into Druids.
Yeah, Jack a lot more confident through Druids there. Yeah, Jack seems to be a little bit more composed now. Maybe his engineers have spoken to him saying, look, you've got this, you've got the pace, just calm it down a bit. He's definitely to it. Look at that gap, that is definitely coming down between him and RDJ now. So we're on board with Jack at the moment. Oh, opposite lock there, counter steers, avoids any drama.
And RDJ can't back off too much. I mean, I suppose the temptation is to say, right, let Jack push and make a mistake, and I'll just make sure I'm men are free, and that should see me home. But you know, if he backs off and maybe just eases off just too much, as we can see, that gap is now just been decimated. But I suppose it's like whoever between now and the last 4 laps makes the least errors is probably going to come out on top between these two.
Yeah, that gap is just absolutely disappearing. Slow in, fast out is definitely, and he's going to take it now.
Oh! Unlucky RDJ coming out of paddock. Got to get the line right and your speed, or you're in trouble.
Needs to get that dirt off the tyres now that he's picked up from going off into the gravel. And Jack has now just got to get his head down, concentrate again, not push. He's proven that he's, you know, that was quite a good lead that RDJ had through the race at the start after that incident with Geordie.
Yeah.
Jack, and you know, Jack's proven that he's, like, in qualifying as well, he's, you know, he's definitely got the pace just to walk this now, so doesn't have to push too hard. See Geordie there, not a million miles away.
His fastest lap is still is 2 seconds quicker than anyone else, so he could even bring that down to a second and extend his lead. And I think that's got to be what maybe he didn't learn. Well, maybe he has learned it from race 1, is just execute that control, and you can still sort of pull away from the driver who's trying to catch you, because you've just got that pace naturally, for whatever reason. Which is great performance by Jack, and after that race, first race, he's going to go in with every chance of...
Just on board with Drew there, just as he avoids any kind of contact with Green at Army. And Drew, you know, he's got a massive challenge out of him. He's 26 seconds off Jack at the moment. And the way Jack's driving.
To Jack in the first race, the best he can maybe hope for is closing in on Cameron and seeing if he can get up to 4th by the end of the race. But again, with that first race win, it's going to be between him, Jack, RDJ's in there, and obviously Geordie boy. So just like maybe the touring cars of last season, not 2017 but 2016, going to last race with a cluster of drivers who could potentially win that amazing prize.
So Drew, unfortunately, pace dropping off a little bit there as well. It's now almost 30 seconds behind Jack. And he's got Greener Army who's coming up behind him now as well.
Envoy's actually extending his lead on Drew as well, so that's a really, really solid showing from Envoy.
Yeah, and that's why we've chosen these 3 cars here as well. Complete difference in driving style needed and mentality. But I think the real challenge is to come in the next race with the 720S around Alton Park. So Jack now increasing his lead to almost 3 seconds now. So see him here just pulling away even more.
Yeah, just under 2 laps to go, and if he maintains this sort of pace through and keeps it out of 3, he's going to take the win.
Where did Jack come in race 1? Was it 5th?
4th, I think. No, I think he got up to 4th.
So I mean, him and Drew at the moment will be pretty equal on points.
That's it. I mean, that's where, you know, Drew will probably be a point behind. But you know, he's maybe just similar to maybe Jack in the first race, not his car, or finds it a little bit harder to sort of get it round the track using the pad. But I think we've seen from each of those drivers that they are capable, and it's going to be the one who can deal with the car and track at Alton Park.
Yeah,
you know, it's a very, very, very tricky track. It seems simple enough. I mean, the island version only has 7 corners, but one of them backed up. Oh, it's not Jack! No, I think that. Oh, I thought that was Jack. I was talking away there. I think that was a back marker. I just had heart failure.
So again, these guys are racing for a prize tonight. So tonight, the event brought to you by THRUSTMASTer, and the prize, the T150 with the T3PA pedals. So it's not just bragging rights, it is for a prize tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we do thank THRUSTMASTer for providing us with the prize.
For the THRUSTMASTer, we thank you.
So we're just on board with Greener Army as he tries to chase down Drew. Drew ideally can't lose any more places. So they're on the final lap now. Drew just needs to hold on. He can't really afford to lose. Oh, and that's Greener Army going into the back of him.
I think he's... Yeah, I think he just made... just backed off.
Yeah, Greener Army, you know, he would have gone... Oh, sorry about that. He wouldn't have he wouldn't have gone past him. He, you know, the next gen way there.
Very polite and British, that. Sorry about that, chappy. I just need to have rammed you at 75 mile an hour. Oh! Yeah.
Well, no, that's just the next gen way, isn't it?
It is, it is.
So there's Jack, so he takes...
I will show you respect.
First place.
That's a great win.
So RDJ, I do believe actually, I think RDJ might be taking the lead at the moment in points.
Got to be very, very close.
So, and then there's Geordie as well. He'll be up there as well. I'll try and get confirmation from the race director who's leading the way at the moment. But well raced, everyone.
Yeah, it's very well done. I applaud. Like this.
So it all goes down. So there's no definitive winner at the moment. All goes down to a very, very different kind of racing now. The McLaren 720S at Alton Park. I think we're definitely going to see, if Jack's like to get the back end out in the Formula C and a GT4, I think we're definitely going to see him a bit tail happy in the 720. I think Jack needs to be a little bit careful in this car. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I estimate we're going to see more rear than the average episode of Kardashians, so it should be interesting.
I, for one, have never watched an episode of the Kardashians, so I have no.
Neither have I. I've just read an article or two about it, and it seems to refer to that they show their asses a lot, or they seem to pout their asses or something, because they have big asses.
So are you able to call him in now? I mean, RDJ, he's shown quite, a solid performance through race 1 and 2 there.
Yeah. I don't mind being put on the spot. I find that the additional warmth off the light, especially in winter, is nice and comforting. I'm gonna go for Geordie Boy. Just don't know why. I think he's they're all good drivers, every one of them tonight, and those who have got a chance of winning, whoever comes out on top will deserve it definitely. But I've just got a feeling like the Black Eyed Peas.
All right. So I just need to go and get a charger wire. You can just keep talking for a second.
Okay. Hello everyone. I like cheeseburgers. Often with chips and a nice dollop of mayo or ketchup. Also, I like the smell of petrol. Yeah, especially, what I miss is the old sort of petrol, the 4-star, because that used to stink, but it was gorgeous. All right,
hello.
I was just talking about race cars and obviously relevant things to the races tonight. So
petrol.
I was sharing with people that I like the smell of, well, especially the old type of 4-star. It's one of those smells I miss, mate. That we were absolutely destroying the planet, but it smelled good. So
race 3 of our THRUSTMASTER evening. If you are just joining in, you have missed 2 cracking races. So now we're in the McLaren 720S around Alton Park International. So the longer of the 3 layouts at Alton Park, a track that I love dearly. It's not too far down the road from me, so I've been quite a few times, seen a few different races here. Definitely going to be a car that needs to be careful. It's not a widest track in the world, so overtaking is going to be crucial at certain parts of the track. If you've got the the opportunity to do it, but it's sometimes best just to hold off and choose your parts wisely to overtake them. Certainly is the final countdown.
Show me AG, I had this on vinyl, 7-inch. Oh yes.
So first out on is RDJ, and he's onto the grass already. So weaving to get some heat in those tyres.
What do you think he's weaving, mate? Some sort of quilt, scarf, maybe, an undergarment?
A basket. That Drew has chosen the
little basket. Yeah.
Drew has chosen a white 720. It looks stunning in white. Someone in the tyres there. Try and find who that was.
I mean, these cars,
that's Envoy Extreme. I could just stare at this white 720 all night. So race 3 of our THRUSTMASTER evening. So if you are new to console racing or sim racing in general, I'm thinking, I want a wheel, I don't know which to get. Definitely recommend THRUSTMASTER T150. Great starting point, and they've got other options available. T300.
That's our wheel of choice.
That's the wheel I personally use. And we have, of course, the Gran Turismo Sport wheel coming out soon with special features. That's built in directly to the wheel for Gran Turismo itself. The new one's actually got a base shaker that it only works with Gran Turismo Sport, but it's got a base shaker built into the wheel, which is a nice little touch. So nice little touch from THRUSTMASTER for that one there.
I mean, I think the next phase, isn't it? I mean, the T500 was released 2011, so the technology in that was updated with the T300. I think the T300 we know the motor was, you know, the force feedback was slightly less powerful, but I think it was a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. It was more reliable, and obviously the belt sort of brushless technology as well for that was, you know, it feels superb. You've got the mix sort of brushless and gear sort of technology within the T150, but it's really, really smooth. I mean, there's another wheel that rhymes with Moji Peck B89, and that's particularly sort of clanky and geary and notchy, but not to diss other wheels. But the T150 really is a fantastic sort of wheel to get your sim racing career started. I bought one because I had the T100, which was fine, but I wanted to sort of branch out to iRacing and R Factor, and the T150 was just brilliant because it is PC compatible as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah, so that's the good thing. If you own a PlayStation 4 and then you think, oh, I'm getting quite into this sim racing, you want to move into sort of like other sim racings that are only available on PC. The good news is all your THRUSTMASTer tech will work on PC from PS4 as well. So we can't recommend THRUSTMASTer enough. You know, there's hundreds and hundreds of people out there have got the products. Customer service is fantastic as well. If you have any problems, quite easy to get hold of, and you know they'll sort things out for you as well.
2-year warranty, which is, you don't hear of that very often, especially for the electronic products at that price. I mean, what they do, because they do get a lot of hammering.
The force feedback technology in THRUSTMASTer as well is one of the best, and the T150, the price point for it is amazing. You know, even though it's classed as an entry-level wheel, it's, you know, it is a really, really good wheel for it. So if you can't afford like the T300, go, you know, if you can go for a T150, it's, you know, it's definitely worth the money. And
I love about these cars, I don't know if you noticed, but just the sort of the wing at the back, spoiler, you see the little spoiler come up when you just need a little bit of stability. And but we're still seeing that the drivers are struggling to keep those back ends in check, and they are just sort of getting out really wide as they struggle. Yeah,
so just went through the chase cam then with Envoy Extreme just to watch that back bumper come up. But yeah, these McLaren 720s, they look absolutely stunning. One of the new cars in Project Cars. So at the moment, Jack, the only one to put a time in at the moment with a 140. Looks like people might be struggling. Alton Park is one of those tracks in Project Cars 2 where track limits maybe seem a little bit strict, if we put it politely.
I think it's also with the sort of way the track it is. It's like it's a very, very accurate replication of it. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. But yeah, sort of like, I'm not sure if it's one of the laser scanned ones, but you know, we know the track itself has got, you know, it's not flat. It's virtually not flat in any part. It's either up, down, or there's camber like mad. So with these cars and sort of like the nature of this track, it's gonna take a lot of skill to keep them on track, and especially using the pad. But we'll know after this race which lucky guy is gonna say goodbye to the pad and hello to the T500.
I mean, I've walked this track quite a few times, and I think what they've done in this game is pretty representative of how this track is. Even with the little, you can see sort of where the two pieces of tarmac join, the left and right, and it's got that sort of tar line down the middle. That is there. The only thing I would say, in real life, it looks slightly more black than it does grey.
I think that's synonymous with most of the tracks on Project Cars 2. They're sort of a little sort of the pastel, sort of the colour depth is maybe more generic of like normal road tarmac or even American sort of tarmac, where rather than actually because we know when looking at it, it just does look like it's, you're on the A41 or something, you know. It's a normal A road in Britain. It's no different. The fact that the only way you can tell it's a racetrack is either by the curbs and the barriers, or the fact that you got cars whizzing around at 150 mile an hour. So
now, just looking, Envoy Extreme, he's pitted in now, but he's the only other person that's putting a time at the moment. Just over 2.5 seconds behind Jack there. Jack is still out on track. Just waiting for Drew to see if he's going to put any times. He's just gone out slightly wide there. Now, what we've found is if you have a penalty towards the end of a lap, it will discount that lap and it will discount your next lap as well. With Altland Park, if you get... See, I think Jack's just gone a bit too wide. I mean, this lap might be discounted anyway. We've just seen Greener Army. He's now putting a time. Oh, Drew getting a little bit too close to someone there. Where's RDJ? Oh, it was RDJ, so RDJ and Drew. So...
Well, we're seeing at the moment that, you know, we're watching qualifying, but it's getting a little bit racy going through Cascades, as we saw just a moment ago. And, you know, drivers really just giving no quarter as they battle for this ultimate prize.
Yeah, I think I didn't finish my point before. So as I was saying, if you get a cut track, no, it's me. I went on a tangent anyway. I did a bit of a Ross Noble. If you get a cut track just before the end of your lap, it seems to discount that and then discount your next lap as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something. I mean, we were discussing the other night, is that a good thing? But then you mentioned in other games, especially like tracks like Donington, if you've got a lap that isn't counted, you can completely cut the last chicane at Donington National to get like a second or a second and a half up already in terms of speed wise on your next lap. So is it something? I mean, it's one of them that it's like, no, it's probably doesn't happen in real life, but does it?
I would say
make you actually like
with this, what the game should hopefully have an algorithm that could determine that if you do it like.
Oh, there's RDJ getting very, very messy going into Dia's leap. Drew goes past him. So
if you're like, if you do it through the last corner or the penultimate corner.
Drew, sorry to interrupt. Drew has just taken third, mate. But he's almost 9 seconds off Jack at the moment.
Yeah, I really can't call this at the moment, lad. Knock knock.
Who's there?
The interrupting cow.
Fantastic. Back to qualifying anyway. So can we see Drew?
I'm gonna kill you when I see you tomorrow.
Can we see Drew close that gap on Jack anymore? Jack is still out on track. Really throwing that 720 around. So we'll stay on board with Jack as he approaches Lodge Corner.
Comments and Edu or Eduardo Santa Maria, that's a gorgeous name by the way, lad. We know him as Edu Pro Driver. He's saying, I feel this car track combo is going to give us something action. I've lost it now as I was scrolling down. But Gary George adds something very relevant tonight. Cheeseburgers. I totally agree.
Gary, another member of Next Gen, loves to take away. He stopped doing it for a while, but he always used to post a picture on Sunday of his Sunday dinner. Hasn't done it for a bit though. But thanks for tuning in. Leave comments who you think is going to take the win in this race, and who you think is going to take the win overall. But qualifying is drawing to a close, and there's still a lot of people that have got to put times in. This car really proving to be quite difficult. You can hear, so we're on board with Drew, you can hear his engine revs really blaring out as he gears down through the corners, just trying to get as much power. Not the smoothest, so just really trying to fire out this lap, just trying to. And who's that? Who's just took third? Get the timings up. So that's Geordie Boy, who's taken third. Sorry. See there, so just over 4.5 seconds between him and Jack. So, I mean, Jack will be feeling pretty confident in this, would you think, at the moment? I mean, it's just under 3 minutes left to go. Oh, almost gets the back end out there. The McLaren coming down the home straight. in our final race of our Thrustmaster evening. Again, hosted by
Nick. Again, like the last race. Sorry, mate. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he's got to do what he did in the last race. He knows he's quicker. Just keep the car under control. Don't make any mistakes, and I reckon he'll win it.
So here's the points at the moment. So this is from the race director. So we've got Jack 35 points, Geordie 34, RDJ on 33, Greener Army 23, and then Marshall and Rob Speak on 20, Envoy and 13. Oh, sorry, Drew and RDJ are both on 33 points. So this is basically a 4-horse race to win. So yeah, it's pretty much open, and we've got. Let's have a look at the timings again. So, Jack, Geordie, Drew's just outside of top 4 at the moment. RDJ. So we've got 3 of those top 4. Well, they're top 3 at the moment as well.
Yeah, I did call Geordie boy for this one, but I mean,
so really,
what's the difference in points from winning to second?
So 1 point is basically Jack's on 35, Geordie's on 34, Drew and RDJ are on 33. So
no, what I meant, sorry mate, was whoever wins, how many points do they get, and how many points does second get again?
I believe it's 16 points for first place.
Yeah. So 15 for second. Is there a point awarded for bonus for pole?
I don't think so. I'm just confirming with the race director how the points work.
Because I was going to say, what happens if Geordie boy wins and Jack finishes second, say for example, wouldn't they be on the same points?
Well, yeah, we might have
to. Calling it, man.
We
might need a shootout here.
We might have a shootout. If it is equal on points, then yes, we'll. I'll speak with the race director, and we'll. I
think the best way would be to nominate a tracking car, just put it on a 5-minute qualifying, and just see who posts the fastest time. It just means got to get out there, get a lap in as quick as you can.
Okay, so here's how the points work. So it's the same as our league. Sorry, so it's 21 points for first, 18 for second, 15 for third, and then 13 for fourth, and then it drops down 1 point for that, and you do get a bonus point for pole as well. So Jack is now going to be.
Yeah, it could still end, and RDJ right at the end jumping up to second,
and that's not a million.
He's still in there, isn't he?
Yeah, not a million miles away from Jack there as well. So hold tight. I mean, if you are watching on YouTube, it does get sort of equal points, and it goes to a final shoot off this Thrustmaster evening. Leave in the comments what car and track combo you think we should have for anyone on equal points.
Probably the V8s at Bathurst,
Oh, I don't know. I had to go with them before, and they are on stock setup. They are twitchy at the back. I think a GT3. I think a Ferrari 488 GTE around Bathurst wouldn't be a bad shout. That's a good. Or Imola. Imola's a good track with a GTE as well.
I prefer Monza. I'd do Monza. That's just a personal shout, but
me personally, people are probably going to kill me, but I think Monza's a bit of a boring track.
I don't know. I mean, it's got the two sort of tight chicanes, and then you've got sort of like the two right-handers which almost bank it, like you're going through the carousel up at the Nordschleife.
Oh, and one lap around Nordschleife.
Oh, hello. He's mentioned Nordschleife, and Phil has gone, yeah, that is good.
In the snow.
Yeah, what?
in a Ford Lightning pickup truck. In the snow, or in the Nordschleife.
Please leave a comment if you would like to see this go ahead.
So, no, honestly, if you watch on YouTube on this Thrustmaster evening,
should have done that as the final race anyway. What?
So right. We're on the
back to the pits. Go! Monitor.
So Jack's still in first. RDJ has now taken first as well.
Oh, we got almost 3 wide there. Little nibble there. We've got two
Oh,
cars.
that's RDJ and NGR Geordie who get off there. So Drew and Jack are into first and second.
Oh, we've got real rubbing going on there between. I'm not sure who that was, but they were given no room whatsoever. Drew up to second in that sexy looking car. You have to say Jack's car, and RDJ's also that sort of sky blue, metallic, hypnotic sexiness. Anyway, back to the racing.
So very, very big. I've lost my words there because I was just
big incidents at the start.
Yeah, it's, you know, this is, you know, someone going off there at the chicane. Sorry, I'm just trying to head and tail, trying to work out where to go on the screen and stuff, but trying to keep an action on what's going on. But we've got NGR and Geordie, who's just behind RDJ. And we've got Drew, who's, I mean, Jack is running away at the moment. Jack can sense that THRUSTMASTER T1 50 wheel and the T3PA pedals. I reckon he's already chalked out in his room where they're going to go. But Drew is definitely not taking this line down.
No, he's taking it, sitting in the cockpit of a car. But
Geordie looks like he might have had another incident there. He's backed off a little bit from the top three.
It's unfortunate. 8 seconds off the pace now,
but look at this. Drew is right on the tail of Jack here, trying to find a way through on the inside. The McLaren grips round the corner. These cars won't provide much of a tow. Braking.
Through down towards Lakeside. Really long corner. You've got to be so sensitive on the throttle as you exit. And the first of the two chicanes. Really hard on the camber and the tyres as you come up the hill.
Jack getting a nice exit from the corner there as well.
I'd imagine, I would say this is probably the most demanding track out the three we've raced at tonight.
Yeah, and with this combination of car as well, you know, it's making the guys work for that THRUSTMASTER wheel.
Definitely. This is definitely not chocolate and orange or chocolate and peanut butter like you see in Terry's chocolate oranges or Reese's.
So we're on board with Drew as he tries to find a way to hunt down Jack. You can see there the rear fin of the McLaren come up, add extra downforce and help with the braking through Diaz Leap onto the home straight, and Jack taking a deep breath. He's still got this.
Lap times between the two though, 39.8 and 39.6 for Drew, so Drew's slightly quicker on that lap. Very close. And how many points was Drew behind Jack? Have you got the time, the sort of scores on the doors there?
So he's 3 points behind. So, but Jack got the points for pole. So Jack would win by a point. So what Drew needs to do is get in front. Really, what Drew could play this.
Jack, if Jack knew this, he can actually let Drew go ahead and just finish second. Wouldn't that give him the championship? Yeah.
It would by 1 point, but RDJ is not a million miles away. And
no.
What Drew could do is maybe get in front, hold him up, allow RDJ to catch up, and then bring the battle to Jack as well. And you know that
do you think they would be able to do that calculation in the head rather than on track? I mean, I'm just thinking of I mean, it could be. They could be absolute geniuses in terms of knowing exactly who's where and what. Yeah, could be Cat of Alderman in the car doing the maths.
Oh, and that's Drew going off. That is not what he wants.
That could be the end of his chances.
Is RDJ going to be able to capitalise on this? He's not, but...
You can see him in the background there.
Jack will be looking in his mirror now and then head down, concentrating on what he needs to do.
He'll be looking in his mirror and seeing a little T300 and pedals just sitting there like, come to me. Be my daddy. Or something
So
along
yeah,
them lines.
Jack will definitely be sensing and thinking that T150 and T3PA pedal set is definitely going to be his. But 6 laps to go.
Yeah, plenty of time.
We have known to jinx people before with our commentating, so.
Well, as I say, the big one for Jack would be just make sure he finishes second, and if Drew's first, that's 5. But he can't allow RDJ to catch up and split the 2.
And then NGR Geordie, I mean, it's not over yet. It does depend on what happens in front, but at the moment he's got to be thinking it's not going to be his.
Again, choosing a blue car, does that look fate, or is he just making a statement? I would maybe call it luck and maybe a little bit of fate.
I mean, looking at the gap,
we'll see.
I would say Drew has slightly closed up on Jack here as well. I mean, it's 3.
No, I think it's growing. It was just under 3 seconds, like it is now. So I think it's to and fro. I think certain sections of the Jack finds a little bit more comfortable and he's a little bit quicker. And then certain sections Drew's a little bit quicker there, but has he given himself too much to do, especially with the difficulty of getting these cars around this track?
So I mean, you can hear the revs sort of like you can see what Drew is doing here. He's really downshifting, and you'll hear the sort of revs really hit the rev limiter on some of the corners. So what we'll do is we'll compare that to
the, sort of. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's something you can do in this. If it, basically like the engine braking sort of technique, which, to get the car stopped quicker, you sort of bring the revs, you sort of drop the revs down and half a second, or like earlier than you normally would. So you're braking, but you're also decreasing speed through a second means. The lap times again on their last lap was nothing in it. It's wafer thin. So, but RDJ. Oh, I think Drew is off. He's hit one of the barriers, and
that's RDJ that's gone through for him there as well.
And I think that may have just handed Jack that T150. I don't want to curse him, but it's almost like you've got 5 numbers on the lottery, and you're about to get the 6th.
And if you did win the lottery, you too would be able to buy a THRUSTMASTER wheel and pedal set as well. And again,
a few of them maybe.
If you have just joined in, this is our THRUSTMASTER evening brought to us from Next Gen in association with THRUSTMASTER.
Coming into the Elite.
Yeah, I think Jack he's obviously not going to push it too much, but I think now maybe like Ashley Sutton at the weekend, Ashley Sutton at race 3, they've gone, you know what, just get out there and enjoy it. So Jack is
especially after Turkington had ended, had to retire. It was like we saw he had a sort of little bite at Tom Ingram.
Oh, Drew almost getting sideways there.
He did.
But again, these cars.
I'm pretty certain that everyone back in the paddock was, back in the garages in the pits, was screaming down the mic at Ash Sutton just to say, wait, or something like that. Maybe they went, Ash, just chill out a bit. I don't know if they said, wait,
so
in that sort of way. But
I mean, just what I was looking at before, so the difference in the way Drew is driving to Jack, at least anyway. Drew is definitely dial gearing a lot, and he's getting those high revs, and he's like getting through on the corners on the low gears, whereas Jack doesn't seem to be doing that. Jack just seems to be
staying in the high
really,
gear.
And that's Drew going off there as well. He gives the place. RDJ gives the place back to Drew. And Drew says, "Thanks very much. I'll have that." But 4 laps to go. Jack still running well here at the moment.
That is a nice buffer to have. 12 seconds with 4 laps.
Oh, and he's lost it though! That is the commentator curse. He needs to get that car round. You can see it. He's pushing hard there as well. The time is dropping down. There's Drew coming in the distance. 3 seconds.
Drew's just seen that, and his heart rate. I mean, it still means RDJ's back in the equation, and we know that.
Oh, and he's pushed too hard. He could see the time coming down, and that's RDJ who's now took second place. And now Jack will be thinking, all right, time to get your head back in the game.
One more mistake by Jack, and it could mean that.
Oh, and that's Geordie going off there as well.
Wrong.
Ooh, take a breath. This race is not over yet. Jack will definitely be thinking, right, time to definitely get my concentration cap on again.
I don't know what he could be thinking. He could be thinking about baked beans with sausages in, and how that is one of the greatest inventions ever.
I definitely wouldn't like to have Jack on the microphone then as that happened, because it probably would have been fit for streaming purposes.
If it basically...
and that's Drew really getting the track limits, taking advantage of that there. That is a discounted lap.
Stream back, he's going to kill me.
He might have a bit of a... Oh, no, it's Drew. Sorry, RDJ was taking a bit of a liberty of the track limits. I don't know whether he's been told to have a slowdown.
Yeah, looks that way. But he's still the right. They're going to be side by side. Here we go. Oh, tail out. Really wobbly. Little bit of... Oh, this is just exhilarating. You can't take a breath.
And there's Jack just up in front as well.
He was a little bit slow out there. 3 seconds now behind or ahead of RDJ now. He's These two will sense that they can do something. Is that Jack slowing down, or is that a back? No, it's a back marker. No, that's a back marker.
I wondered what was going on there as well. You know, these guys will definitely sense that T150 is still theirs, up for grabs. Drew is putting on the pressure here for RDJ. Oh, he backs off a little bit there as well. They can still see the little blue shimmer that is Jack just in front of them. Jack has increased the lead slightly to just over 4 seconds. Oh, RDJ going out slightly wide there as well. Drew trying to apply the pressure here.
Again, this is just playing into Jack's hands. Just got to get the car home. Like the dog in that film Homeward Bound, he's just got to get there by any means.
I think Drew is playing a nice game here. I mean, it's definitely not over until Drac crosses the line. And as we've seen, Jack could make another mistake.
Not gonna curse him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially through Drew, it's the mother of all double apexes in the UK.
So Drew will be thinking, what can I do to get past this guy? You know, they'll both be thinking, look, we know Jack can make a mistake. Taking a wide entry there as they go down Deersley. Drew going off wide. He's put a little bit of distance between him and Drew now as RDJ.
I mean, these front three have done really well if you consider looking at the times further back. After Drew, it's 40 seconds back down to the to fourth. So
oh, Drew forced a little bit wide there as well.
Show, yeah, you can see it in the background of Jack. Yeah, just goes to show these cars really, really a handful. But fair play to these guys. And as we said, we're not going to make it easy to get your hands on that wheel and pedals. You've got to earn it. And Jack looks as if he's earned it.
Yeah, definitely from race one. You'd be honest, you'd think, I mean, with how the others perform, like RDJ, Drew and Geordie, you'd think, oh, has the pressure got to Jack a little bit too much? But he came fighting back in race 2. He's proved himself in race 3. He's just got over a lap and a half to, you know, keep going on. I mean, you saw how much time he lost from that incident there. If he has another incident now, he could lose 2 places here.
That's the fear.
But then I think that would put him. I still think that would. But yeah, if he lost 2 places, I think that would put him and RDJ on equal points. So we'd have to go to that shootout. But as it stands at the moment, Jack is going to take the win. He's approaching the home straight to start his final lap with just under a 4-second cushion. And Drew's lost a lot of time there as well. He might have had another incident there as well. The gap between him and RDJ has increased tenfold. And RDJ will just be thinking, come on, Jack. Come on. Have another little incident. There's a back marker there on the grass. So on viewing here with Jack, we'll go on board. So nice and controlled.
Hopefully be his victory parade.
You can see Drew just there to the right in that white McLaren. So takes it nice and controlled through the chicane. Oh, a little bit wobbly there as he fights the power from this McLaren as it bites back at him.
He doesn't have to put himself in that position of making a mistake.
He's got just under half a lap.
He doesn't basically get out and try and push the car home. All he needs to do.
So he's through Knickerbrook for the last time in our THRUSTMASTER evening. He can now feel that T150 in his hands and those T3PA at his feet. He's just got...
GJ doing a bit of rallycross in the background there.
And
here he
does
comes.
Diaz leap for the last time.
On the lights. He's going to flash the lights. I don't know which button it is on the pad, but now he'll be able to flash the lights on his T150.
And Jack has done it.
Bit of cliff. Maybe not that you're in love with me, but you've won a T150.
So, well done to Jack. So, Jack has
a T150. Yeah. Okay.
So,
yes, well done.
Well done to Jack. So, bit of a nightmare first race for him. Took the win in race 2 and he took the win in race 3 there as well. So Jack does bag the THRUSTMASTER T150 and T3PA pedal set. We'll be in touch with Jack to arrange the delivery for that. Thank you again to THRUSTMASTER for providing us with the prize and sponsoring tonight's event. And thank you very much again to everyone else. You know, awesome racing from RDJ and Drew as well, and you know, NGR Geordie there as well. They, you know, any of those 4 could have took that prize at the end, so it did go right down to the last race. You know, we'll try and get another event like this put together. We'll try and speak nicely to THRUSTMASTER and see if they can throw some more goodies. And again, if you are watching the stream, please join Next Gen as well. Get involved. We'll try and hold some more nights. We'll speak to some of our sponsors and see if we can throw some prizes up for grabs. But
I'd also like to add, I'm quite happy to test any THRUSTMASTER products that are in the pipeline. I'll happily provide my address.
Yeah, of course. So again, thank you to everyone who's watched and got involved in the chat on YouTube. We'll be in touch with Jack as well. We'll try and get a sum up video done and stuff like that as well. But thank you very much who took part. Not just obviously the guys who had it in the, you know, who had a chance to win at the end, but everyone else who you know, really lost it after race 2 but stuck with us and filled the field for race 3. Again, you know, thank you all for watching, and thank you James for commentating.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well done again to Jack, and thanks to everyone who took part. It was really great entertainment.
Certainly. So keep it tuned to Next Gen as well. We do try and get videos uploaded to YouTube weekly. So if you are new to it, hit the subscribe button, hit the little alarm button as well to get notified when we do go live. We do try and stream as much as we can. We'll try and get some videos uploaded as well. And as always, if you're new, do join the group. Get involved as well. If you're on PS4 and you want to get involved with some clean sim racing, come and get involved and come and host some leagues with us as well if you want to.
Definitely.
So once again, thank you for watching, guys, and we'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.